Hello, everybody. Welcome back. You're watching Talking Shit with me, Sid.
And I'm Kai.
Welcome to, this is our fifth.
This is our...
Are you on dating app, Kai?
No, I detest dating apps. Why?
Okay. So recently, I started using dating apps again.
Which one?
Few.
Okay. What's your most used one?
I think Bumble, because
Okay.
I really like the build. I like the software and everything.
Fair enough.
So I was on Bumble. Now there's a new thing. In like usually what you say, you put your bio, you put your age and what you like, blah blah blah, and so on. Now you also have to put your star sign. Or,
Yeah.
So
Just the only one, right?
yeah.
Okay.
And then I realized, and then I've had this conversation with my friends because I have no idea what is my star sign or whatsoever, and then everybody is like, no, you have to put it. Then people will know what they're dealing with.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, so that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's a huge thing.
Yeah, so which is why today I thought bringing this guest will be really interesting for every single one of you who wants to go on dating apps.
This is just a crash course for you to learn about dating
Yes.
stuff. So
Yes.
you
So-
can apply it to your dating life.
Yes, so I want to learn about
I knew it.
myself.
I
so
knew
to
it.
tell people, oh, this is what you have to deal with. Okay, so today we are going to talk about star signs. We're going to talk about this zodiac.
Yes.
Is that what you call it?
I mean, I think it's a lot more. It's star signs. It's all the sort of I was going to say supernatural, which is absolutely not correct at all. But we're going to delve into astrology.
Yes.
We're going to delve into this sort of mystical knowledge that a lot of people believe in, a lot of people don't believe in, but also on a primal level also believe in. So we're going to dive into that.
No, also attached to it, there's another thing called energy.
Yes.
Have you heard of energy before?
I mean, I think I've heard of it before. I'm here to learn.
So we are both here to learn.
I'm here to apply it to my dating life.
Now,
but
please
to also learn
welcome
more.
our guests for the show. We have Trina and we have Pera. Yay!
Yay! Thanks for joining us, guys. By the way, thank you.
PPs.
The PP, sorry.
PPs.
Yeah, I feel like we've been tricked.
Yeah, right.
We're like, we're talking about astrology. I'm like, oh my god, finally.
No, but we are definitely here to talk about it because
Okay.
I feel there's so many. It's just it's a term that's also thrown around a lot that people either are really keen and into it, but on a very superficial level, or people are ready to discard it and laugh and joke about it. But when it comes to major decisions, there's a part of them that goes, maybe I'll check just to be sure, just in case. There's always that little element, and we can talk about that more
And
later.
one of the reasons why I particularly want to do this is because nobody talks about Aquarius. And that pisses me off.
That's true. I've never.
Because I'm an Aquarius.
I've never.
And which is why I brought two Aquarius on the show.
Oh my God, they're both Aquarius.
Are you ready, Kai?
Hey, I'm part of the Aries team, so I feel like we're a quadruple A. So
What do they say about Aries?
a lot of things. We're banned from clubs, Sid.
Oh my god, yeah, you
We
are in
are
Germany,
banned.
right?
I want to understand why.
Yeah. In Germany, there's a club that literally only allows you in based on your star sign.
And Aries cannot go in
Yeah. But I get it though.
because they cause too much shit. So
Yeah.
I'm here to learn too, Sid.
Yeah.
Why can I not go to clubs in Germany? I want to know.
Okay,
First, can you find the beat? No, I'm kidding.
Can you sing in tune? Okay.
Okay, now just a bit of disclaimer out there. I think in this episode, what we're going to talk about is, say, pop astrology, right?
Yes.
So we're not going to go into detail as in how do you. It's not the science of it. I would say it's not too in depth. It's not the ancient or the East Asian way of looking at it. Because I know Indians have their own shit there. I know Chinese people have their own shit there. That's
yes,
a
we
different thing if you want to talk about it. We can we can make 2 other different episodes about that. So we're going to talk about the Western approach, also the pop astrology. So nothing is serious. If we don't like Aries, we don't like Deal with it.
Fine. I feel some like astrology discrimination coming on.
So Patrina, walk us through.
Yeah, what is pop astrology?
Yeah.
Actually, I have no idea.
I mean, pop astrology is what pop is for the most part. It's always like the fun and the lighter aspect of anything. It's the jovial side of the subject. And I guess pop astrology is that, but essentially more derived towards Western astrology than I would say Indian or Chinese astrology. That one's a bit too hard to kind of pop it up, you know what I mean? Unless you play with graphics because of pictures and all that kind of stuff. Because that, I think, goes way, way, way back. And it's too, I think it's too, how do you say this? They're too true to the work.
Okay.
Very little of it has evolved with many great reasons why. Western astrology is the kind, like most Western stuff. Sorry.
Sorry, can you say that a bit louder? I'm kidding. Go ahead, please.
I think the reason why it's evolved the way it has because a lot of it has been adopted. So there's more permission to kind of like, can I swear?
Yeah.
To fuck around with it. Yeah, so that's essentially what pop astrology is. It's just, it's fun with the memes, it's fun with the art, and it's fun with capitalism.
Okay.
But this is not a new thing, right? It existed for a very, very, very long time. But it's just that it's making its wave today, that people are talking about it. The presence is a lot more there, I feel, compared to years ago. Because if you're talking about, say, the Chinese ones, or we're talking about the Indian ones, I think those existed for a long time, and people have actively participated in it, talked about it. I know when I was born, my name is decided because with this astrology stuff, I know there's a time and stuff, and then every year there's like a reading that they do, which is very fascinating, which I'll get into later when it comes to the Indian ones. And also I know the Chinese astrology is also deep into...
It's deep, but it also has pop. Like, you know, you go into a bookshop and you find those like Born in the Year of the Dogs, like a cute little thing. You can Lillian too, or you know, all that kind of stuff. So it does have a pop appeal, but I don't know. I think with, at least I can say for Chinese people, there is a part of the soul in a way where this stuff is you can't discard it. You know, you talk to business people, make big decisions. What are they going to do? They're going to consult a feng shui or bazi expert.
Sorry, what's bazi?
Bazi is I'm not super knowledgeable, but it's like the deep work. It's like you go for a serious reading, and they get your time of birth, the date you're born, the year, and they can chart basically everything that's happened to you and everything that will happen to you. Especially Chinese, all around the world, birth rates shoot up in the year of the dragon, which is the, in regards to the zodiacs. And then every other year it's like, you get a few, and then dragon's like, because it's the most prosperous sign, it's the one that makes the most money, it's most prestigious, and it's my astrological enemy, which is all cool. But there is a part of the Chinese psyche that really, really does not want to mess or lose out in that regard. And starting with Western astrology, because I feel that's one of the more accessible ones. The one that is sort of universally like toyed with or explored. So yeah, I think that's why this conversation is here. And I want to ask you guys, for a lot of guys, or straight guys, heterosexual guys, astrology to most of them is like, whatever. But, they'll get into it because it all starts from, girls are really into it. So
Sorry, gay guys believe in astrology?
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Quite,
I mean,
quite a few.
Depends,
The way
but
you're like, yes.
I speak for all of you. You don't have a say in anything.
no.
I feel like, I think because it has so much heaviness around it right now, because like people are talking about it, I'm getting rejected because of this dating and everything. Let's just simplify it and make it neutral so that everybody feel like, okay, it's a neutral subject. That neutrality come from understanding where it originated. like the origin point was people don't want to get lost at sea or desert, and that's why like they look up upon the stars. That's how it started, as a guidance. But what happens, I feel like energetically, is when you look up to something, you connect with it and you become it. Like right now, I can start looking into your eyes, and I can start. You don't have to tell me anything. I can start feeling you. So that's what happening. Like in this solar system, we have neighbors. Like you can have, a neighbor here, neighbor there, and one person that neighbor can start arguing. You can feel it. That's why when we are relating to, okay, Pluto is transformation, and you're like, what is Pluto has to do anything with me? Because Pluto has some sort of vibration, which is coming to Earth. And we're feeling it. So just like a neighborhood, are you allowing your neighborhood to communicate with you? Are you allowing the stars to communicate with you? It's just that neutral stance. That's where it started. It started physically as a guidance, then it turned into much more complex structure because people get to start being interested in so many different things: relationship, money, abundance, creativity. Then it started to like, okay,
Right. So it feels like it connects to all these things and intersects with each other.
So it's like a map. It's a guidance map, and it's really up to you, like whether if you want to like accept it or not. Because I'm 100,000% sure there's other thing that will guide you as well. So this is just a guidance system. That's what it is.
I see.
Yeah. So if you want to take it, you can take it. And just like any other reading that you were mentioning about, right? I see it as like, okay, right now I can throw something there, right? It doesn't need to land there because something can happen in between and it can land anywhere else. So this is what we call a reading. As in like right now with the momentum that you're going, that's where you will end up. But you have the 100% free choice to do whatever you want to do.
Yep.
And you can turn that into like, okay, no, I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there.
Yeah.
So that's how neutral it is. I think that's a good point to start.
So if we're going to take it from today's world, I think a lot of us are really into these archetypes. Like it doesn't matter if it's astrology or you want to go all corporate and like INFP it. But basically, we're the children that's just trying to figure ourselves out because we're probably I saw a TikTok where they said like we're probably the kids who had to parent ourselves before we could parent others and all that kind of stuff. So it's a huge conversation about like, who are we? How do we deal with life and all that kind of stuff? Why do I function the way I function? That's the biggest question. Why do I function the way I function? And I think that's why like there's a lot of play-by-play with like a huge conversation with astrology, and then like psychology starts coming in and all that kind of crap. It's true what Pera says is it is a form of guidance, but it is a guidance of it's up to you. It's really up to you if you feel like, I know this is the part where people get like, oh, I don't believe in that kind of shit, kind of stuff. If you feel attached to it, if you feel attached to the guidance, it's yours. That's simply how it works, kind of thing. Like none is right or wrong. I mean, unless it tells you to go and kill someone, yeah, probably. But like none is like right or wrong. It's a matter of like how it's a spiritual experience, which I guess is the other part of it that people tend to roll their eyes about, because we've come to this like generation where we disregard the joy of spirituality, the indulgence of spirituality, which is ironic because I still feel that it's so present. It's just compartmentalized a lot more than it should be when spirituality is fluid. And that's the thing that people can't gauge. And that's why like astrology tends to have that like bad rap for this world that loves to compartmentalize everything. But if you really dive into it, it's actually really structured. And there is a level of compartmentalization. The only thing is, it constantly creates this conversation that it coexists with other things. And that confuses a lot of people.
As in, what other things?
Like, you can't have one sign without the other sign, kind of thing. Like, you can, it's a rollover of each other. Like, each sign is a rollover of each sign, kind of thing. But its presence there's such thing as sister signs. Its presence doesn't like brighten up the way it does without its like sister sign, that kind of thing. So
it's never standalone.
can never stay alone. Like things can't exist without coexistence, basically. And I think that's the part of like astrology that people have a hard time gauging, that it is simply a practice where you can just take it as it is. And if you don't feel attached to it, it's not yours. You can walk away from it. But if you feel attached to it, cool, walk towards it. I mean, like, you go to a mall and then they give you instructions where to go. It's up to you if you want to take that road.
Right.
You know what I mean? You can always take the left side instead of the right side, but it's up to you what draws to you. And that's the part that people always go, but that doesn't make sense. You have to get that. Like, why? How come this cannot exist? Everything has to happen for a reason, kind of situation. It does, but that doesn't mean like you're supposed to have the answer straight away.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or the desired outcome.
Yeah.
If I do this, it's like if I do this, I do X, I get Y.
Yeah.
But that's not how life necessarily works.
No, and if I really want to go down into it, I think the reason why these things do exist, because my friends and I have these conversations, because if there's anything that's the most human thing about us, is that we're always trying to find meaning to life. And that's why these things need to exist. This is so that we can always constantly parent ourselves and guide ourselves to just go about life.
And how, so after saying all that, how has this system guided you or helped you to in regards to your life?
I think mine is one thing, and it's very simple and straightforward. Pre-2020, I was like, I know this, but I wasn't, I didn't have the time to like really dive into it. But now I'm more like, okay, I understand astrology, I understand elements, I understand energy. Now, the biggest thing that is happening is I'm saving so much time and energy, because when I understand things quickly, I can move on quickly. Like, for example, just because we started from dating, right? So I'm an air sign, and my first ex was...
air sign?
Yeah.
Aquarius are Aries, right?
So each sign
Libra.
has its own element.
Elements, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
I'm a fire sign.
I'm watching Sid the whole time, and he's like,
You're an air sign.
Okay.
Like
That's gonna go on my app now.
Okay.
it's like, I just have a lot of air.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yes.
Always on the move.
always on the move, yeah, that's the thing. And the downs, like each element, and also each signs, they have their higher expression and lower expression. So my higher expression is like I move very quickly.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Please explain to me like an idiot.
Okay,
like
okay, I'm
I'm
sorry.
an idiot.
Okay.
What is higher?
Okay, this is not about being idiot, because if I say that, okay, you have like high vibration stuff and low vibration stuff. I don't want to say low vibration, so that's why I say like like a lower expression. So as in like, for example, right, earth signs, like I think they are very practical. Very practical, but
Yes.
on the low side, they are very stubborn.
Oh, yes.
You see, so you can compare that to earth energy. You see, so now coming back to me as an air sign, I didn't notice this before. My first ex was a Capricorn, the second was a Virgo, and my mom is a Taurus. So the reason I'm putting my mom there is because
Yes, but that's a choice. I'm like, my first ex, my third
second
ex, my mom. I'm like, I got that right.
No, because I'm very attached to my mom, and I
Yes.
consider her one of my soulmates. So I'm looking for other soulmates to be intimate with, right? Because I have my mom. So all three of them are heavy earth energy, because I don't have that. I'm a very quick thinker. I need to move fast. So I didn't know that. But the moment I understand, now I have like a peace in my heart. I feel like, okay, this is what happened. Okay, I can forgive myself. I can forgive the people that were involved. And now I can move on. So it doesn't extend this time of what went wrong, what happened, why. So you have that acceptance and understanding. So in there, I feel like I save so much time. And this is like a big chunk of my life.
It's allow you to cut through a lot of the bull crap, not just in dating, but in just finding people you can resonate with.
Yes.
Would you say that has been very...
Yeah. Even in working life, and even in any room that I'm walking, because for me, like I'm more focused on elements. The moment I walk into a room, if I'm seeing people with like heavy air energy, now I cannot be air. That's going to be chaos.
Right.
So instantly I'll find my way to just like put my feet on the floor, and okay, now I need to ground myself so that they can have their air moment. You see, and if I see like for like watery people, they are quite emotional, and you can see that I am a very emotional person. But if I'm with someone who's really into their intuitive power and they are sulking over there, I cannot be a water with you at that point. If you are healing, that's different. If we need to get something done, I need to be the earth, I need to be the fire. Let's keep moving. So that helps me a lot.
Sounds
See,
like you can tap into other
when
reservoirs.
when you understand that, right, that tapping into happens so naturally. I don't know how. It just happens. So all this study of energy helped me is to put things into nice compartmentalized. Even as a performing artist, right? What do? Like we take a character and we, in a way, like I think rather than saying stereotype, archetype is much better. So very quickly you'll be like, okay, this is the character, pam pam pam. That 3 words, so stubborn, jealous, helps you so much to really deliver your line. That's how it is. If you don't know that archetype, right, you're going to stay there for 3 hours figuring out what is this character going through, what is he feeling.
Right.
So for me, astrology gives me that guidance, like very quickly. Okay, this is what you can expect, and then you go, you see it for yourself.
So based on the other person's sign, I'm like, this person is going to be
Yeah.
so and so and so. So this, you know how to reciprocate better, lah. Is that what you're saying?
That's true, but there's another layer to it, because that will be a little bit childish. Like, okay, you're a sign and you're like this. Like, rather than that, like you the moment you interact, there are people with like 5 Virgos on their chart, but nothing earthy. Nothing earthy. They are like running around, not even finishing their sentence. Because sometimes what will happen, even though you have heavy elements, you will rebel against it. So there's so many layers there. So I prefer to really feel you as a person. Come to me, let me see you. Then and there I will decide.
Right.
Yeah. So it's not really about like this is your sign and you must behave that way. No, because everybody have every elements and every star signs on your chart. So it's just where you are right now. Your sun is Aquarius. What do you know your moon?
Who is she?
Who is
No.
She's your mom.
no. That's the right
it's
answer.
true.
It's the maternal side of you.
Wapochuta.
moon-
How
the
do
moon
we
sign
find
is
out? How do we
maternal.
find out?
Yes.
I need your
Sun-
time, date of birth, and everything.
Actually, that was on one of my questions. Can we give Sid a reading right now?
Sit.
No, they have my birth date, time, and place.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, they don't look disgusted, so I think that's
No,
a good
it's
thing.
not. It's a fun sign. Oh, okay. Fun chart.
Let's have a fun
They
birthday.
all say.
Wow.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Wait, before that, I'll just to because I feel like I can say something about Indian astrology. I think the thing that makes Indian astrology and pop astrology different is that pop astrology is like very biteable size. So like anybody can digest it. For Indian astrology, like you said, it kind of related to the religion as well. So there's something extra happening there where they tap into 2 extra dimension, which is the 6th dimension and the 8th dimension. The 8th dimension is like, if you put it like horizontally, is the infinity sign. It's the what they call
Yeah.
it, the Akashic record. So
Okay.
everything that has ever happened in someone's life or lifetimes, the screenshot of it is in that dimension. Even if you see the film Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's actually everything is in the bagel, which is in the infinity sign.
Yeah.
Yep.
So everything is contained there. That is when your past life, okay, you were this, you were that. Like when I actually did that, like past life regression, I found out that my dad was my husband in my past life. So he, I know. Did I just fucked it up?
No. We're just look, Sid. What we're talking about is multi-dimensional incest.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
Cut that part out.
No, I'm sorry. No,
I should have not gone there.
No.
See,
I know,
you
but
validated everybody
No.
in Kelantan right now.
no.
How dare you do this, bro?
let him finish. I do follow what you're saying. I just.
Okay. Anyway, so he need to be my father in this lifetime, and I need to be my mother's son, so that everything that since young, everything that my mom went through, somehow it is related to my dad, and every single question she asked, I had to answer, even from the beginning, because I was the wife before. When she was the wife. So see, this is where the Indian astrology will go. They will go to like
Sorry,
past
how do you
life.
find out? What do you... the past life thing.
Okay, my modality, there's different modalities. Mine is actually hypnosis. So hypnosis, and then you find out like what when yeah.
So that's
Sorry,
the
is hypnosis
means
looking
to-
into somebody's eyes and then going into a different world?
It depends. I'm sure it depends, right?
It depends actually. For me, it was a very calming experience where I was like put to like deep relaxation, and I was like brought like, okay, which life you want to like visit. So yeah,
Somebody is actually doing this?
yeah. In Malaysia, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Like,
Can you bring me to this place?
Yeah, me too.
I also want to
first,
know.
how much does it cost.
okay, this one I did it with someone that I truly admired, so it was free.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can admire that
Yeah,
person
same.
also for free.
Oh my god!
Wait, let me finish
know
my
I'm
point.
Let him finish his point. please.
Sorry. Heavy air energy, man. Like I'm trying my best to be earth, and it's so difficult.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry.
But anyway, so that's the 8th dimension that they go to, right? Another difference is they go to 6th dimension. 6th dimension, like if you see, like in the No Way Home, Spider-Man, the mirror dimension, the dimension of possibility. It means that any choice that I'm making right now will split into 2. 2 will split into 4. So you will have soup right now. I can do whatever I want to do. I can go there. I can go to the room. I can eat. I can flip this table. I can come and slap you. I can kiss you. I can do anything that I want to do. So
It's there as a
it's
possibility.
there. So for per second, that is apparently 400 billion possibilities what a person can do. So now, which momentum is the strongest for you, that path will light up. And that lighting up part is what these people can tap into and read. That's why it's like, it's actually something, every single reading, there's a possibility of it's happening and there's a possibility of it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's dependent on where you're heading. If your car is heading towards Kuantan and you want to go somewhere else, it's not going to happen. You see? So it depends on the momentum.
Your sun is Aquarius, which we know. Your moon is Libra. And your
Libra male.
and your ascending is Aquarius. So you're like, sorry, Sagittarius. So you're like me. My ascending is Sagittarius. Yeah. So
Yeah. So what does this
I'm actually
all
not
mean?
surprised you're traveling a lot because when I was going into the readings, because technically when you look into readings, at least in pop astrology or Western astrology and all, you're supposed to actually pay attention to your rising sign, not your sun sign. It can affect a little bit, but not as strong as your rising because that's what you have to dress as every single day.
It's the car, right? Like you said
Yeah,
earlier
it's the
on.
car. It's the car that you gotta drive. It's the driver that you gotta be. So like Sagittarius have been traveling quite a bit lately, or it's either that or you're learning new things, like tapping into a whole new skill and all that kind of stuff. And it makes a lot of sense because Sagittarius is the healer. So we're also like we're learning. We have to learn a lot of new things to heal, kind of thing. That's the philosophy that I've kind of grasped of Sagittarius as well. And also, Sagittarius tend to have a traveling
Like a nomadic
tendency.
thing?
Yeah, very nomadic kind of type. You're the horse, boo boo. The horse. The horse gotta keep on moving. You know what I mean?
Wonderful.
yeah.
Then why did you give the face about Libra men?
Ooh.
No, that's actually a question I want to ask. Like, why are Libra men so hated? It's very strange because
The most hated man right now is a Libra man.
Is it?
Let me just say that out loud. Right now, what's happening is a Libra.
how long has this now been? Like you say now, like
I love you though.
why Libra men?
Toxic.
It's a different type of toxicity. It's the kind of, it's not like Pisces toxicity where it's all emotions and it's just a dance of gaslighting.
Oh,
You
that's pretty
wouldn't.
bad too.
So let me emphasize. We talked about elements, right? So how I look at it, again, I'm on the pop side. So how I look at it is that the air signs are the thinkers. When you have someone who's manipulative and a thinker, and mind you, Libras are some of the smarter signs. When you have so much knowledge, if you're not on the right side of the fence, or at least you don't have a healthy relationship with your mind, the kind of level of toxicity is just gone. And then the thing of it is, Libras, if we're going to talk on the surface of it, is there is a huge concern of how they are being perceived. And that's why they're always indecisive. To a great certain level, because they're trying to figure out what is the best possible way. So in a strategy form, best people. because they're always trying to be like diplomatic about the situation and trying to figure out how can we be balanced. Is the only sign that is symbolized by an inanimate object. So I don't know. To me, like when you are attached to an object, it's questionable. You know, where does the feeling start and kind of situation. To me, Libra men are men specifically. Okay. The reason why men, I don't believe in like it's just Libra men and all that kind of stuff. It's just fun for pop astrology. Specifically, it's masculine energy and the masculine energy that we know of. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy, and astrology is not a foreigner to this concept as well. But like what we are so used to is an immature version of masculine energy. And if you feed that with on top of what you are with the astrology sign, especially someone like a Libra kind of thing, worst combination. The terror. You know, that kind of thing. Like everyone thinks it's like Leo, everyone thinks it's like Pisces, Scorpio and all. At this point they're harmless. Because like a Leo man just wants to be seen all the time. Or at least needs to be validated 24/7. A Libra man just wants to be right. Not win, right. So he can lose in the process, but he gotta be right. You get what I mean? You can disagree with me.
No, the Libras are quiet. But I will add something. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like because I feel like every sign will go through their hero's journey and their villain journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So when you're like in this villain journey where you feel like a dominant star signs are in
Also,
a way like attacking.
It's evolved and unevolved, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean by evolved and unevolved?
The hero and villain.
The hero is the evolved version of
Oh,
the
right.
unevolved.
Okay. Gotcha.
So when you're at the villain era, right? So it means that do you want to go within and do the shadow work or not? That's the question.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, if you're willing to look within and do the shadow work and accept that part of you and then to transform it, alchemize it, you're going to enter your hero journey. Yeah, so I don't think so. Like any sign would remain in that villain era for a long time. No.
So am I in my villain era?
Could be.
Could be.
Because your counterparts are. Like
Yeah.
your classroom, right? The Libra's classroom. A lot of them are messing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why this is happening.
So how do I get out of this classroom?
You be in that classroom. You
Yeah.
observe that classroom.
Don't be a participant.
Yeah. Or I would say like be a participant and find out like where is the, it's like a game. Like, okay, how can we fix this? How can we, and you don't have to fix other people actually. In this whole case, is how can I fix, do I have this tendency? Am I indecisive? Whatever that she said, right? Am I being that? And how can I turn that into my strength? Yeah. But you got to be in that classroom. You cannot escape.
You have to be with your shadow to get out of it, right?
Yeah, it's that deep work, boo boo.
Ooh, healing work.
So all these things, for me, I feel like if you're asking like an end goal, right, is for me to take these archetypes, learn about it, and in a way turn them into like an internalized GPS system. And what is your internalized GPS system? Is your feelings. Like that is going to guide you. Okay, this is where I should go. This is where So I feel like this, in the end, is for this to just be a collaborator. But once the class is finished, once the degree is finished, you got to go to work. Yeah, you cannot keep sitting in that class. It's like, okay, what is happening right now? I need my child.
Yep. But like, I think coming back to like the earlier question of like how how astrology or at least these archetype works have like helped you out. In a sense, it's also like that for me. I think what has become so prominent is that we are more emotional than we think we aren't. You know what I mean? As in, like, a lot of what we do is an engagement to our emotions. When we are not listening to our emotions, we are responding to the resistance. And I feel like what astrology has done for me is creating the acceptance around these emotions, these feelings, and like my perspectives on things and all. Why I think the way I think, why I would make the kind of decisions I make, you know, the kind of thing. And also what it has also done as well is also creating, in a way it's a map of like understanding who I'm dealing with as well. I mean, Pera's more kind. I'm more of like, do I want to deal with you today? That kind of situation, because like I think as a Sagittarius, I think at the start of a lot of times Sagittarius have this like welcoming kind of energy. We're the party people.
I agree.
We are the party, not
The life of the party.
We are the life of the party. We're not the starters. We have to be there. If not, the party isn't there. You know what I mean? And I feel like that kind of plays out in all spaces. And that, I think for me in the past, like I always just accept people and all that kind of thing. So I went through a phase with astrology of like realizing I can't just accept everyone. I have to understand like how much I can accept myself to accept others kind of situation. That it's like a back and forth relationship. And it's a conversation of like, oh, who am I dealing with today? Oh, this person's like this. Okay, cool. Do I want to deal with it today? No, that's fine. You know, that kind of thing. And it can also like, can I accept this person right now with what they are giving me and who and which parts of them they have not looked at? Yeah, okay, sure. I'll look into it now. But how much I want to commit is up to me. So it's just like a map for me and a guidance for me to kind of like deal with my surroundings and my people. I go through people more than environment because I believe that environment will always give you what it wants to give, you know, and we are responding to it kind of thing. But when it comes to people and I have to deal with people, I look at it at that. And yeah, so I am that annoying person who will ask you when's your birthday.
We're talking about, so this is signs, star signs and whatever. Now, let's go to, can you break down what we say when we talk about elements?
Whether I like it or not, I am made of elements. I have like my carbon, earth, I have my fire. Every single electrical impulses within my body creates the fire. Digestion happened with the fire. Water, air. I am the elements. But what happened, like I said, if all four elements coexist beautifully, it means that...
Sorry, there's fire, there's water, there's earth?
Yes.
And there's
air.
Air,
Oh my
okay.
God, we forgot about this.
Yeah, they can coexist within you, and you will. There are moments in your life suddenly you feel this sense of nice euphoria where you don't want to seek for anything, you don't want anything. Everything just makes sense. The nice fullness. So for me, that there's, of course, there's so many things, but what is happening in your body is all these elements are in their calm state. So you feel the flow of life, and if you're doing something, you are just flowing with it. There's no resistance. But what happened, because we are living in a co-creative environment, because people can bring any element to you and throw it into you, and we are responding. So our elements will become like up and down, and and the elements are so straightforward.
Yeah.
If it's earthy, that's some sort of solidness, there's a decision already been made.
Yep.
So you feel the anchorness. If it's air, you feel the lightness. It can be lightness or it can be floatiness, because like I said, every element has its light side and the shadow side. So, and if it's water, like if you're like in a beautiful feeling of emotion, right? It's like a river flowing. But then sometimes you're in your waterfall era, or sometimes you're in your ocean era of like really you're ready to give. But sometimes you're a puddle. So at that point of time, if people are coming and can you give me advice? I'm like, no, I have a puddle right now. So this is how I feel, like understanding the elements, connecting with them, like how astrology started when people look up to the sky and they connected to sun, they connected to moon, they connected to all these stars, and when they look at Saturn, they felt something. When they look at the ring, right, they felt the limitation. Then they put it onto earth and they were like, okay, you need a little bit of discipline to live this life. So this will be the planet that represents that.
Okay, have you met Kai before?
No.
What was that impression like just now when you met him?
I know he's a fire sign, but for some reason that's very heavy, like earth and water energy.
Yeah. Earth. I always feel earth with him.
Yeah.
When I a long time ago, when I saw a Bazi or Chinese astrologist, because when you're born in years, you have the zodiac signs as well, but you're not just like this zodiac or animal. You're attached with an element.
Yeah.
So in the Chinese zodiac, they throw in metal and wood, which are extensions of and combinations of some of the elements. So I think metal is a fifth element that's on its own, but it relates to a lot of financial stuff. But that's just the basics of it. But getting to the point, I was told that I have a lot of earth, like quite a bit of earth, but to the point that if I'm not careful, I become muddy, which means I can feel stuck.
See, for earth energy, right? Okay, now that you understand and you connect to it, because there's some sort of resonance, how can you, when you walk into somewhere, how can you bloom? Is like you're the person where if you're in a industry, a creative industry, you're the person who can be a director or a producer, because you can literally, people can plant seed onto you and you can grow it. So that is it. So now you know that we need someone like that in the production. In the production, 8 people are air energy, you're fucked. It's just ideas, nothing will come out. You see? So you need someone to anchor it. So you are the person. Now you finding, okay, I have a dominant earth energy. What is the best energy that I want to work with? What is it? So if you want some sort of adventure, you want an air energy person. Because they're completely opposite and they're going to go around, walk around, and you tend to be attracted to people who are with dominant air energy because they counterpart you.
But I think in the pop, I think you have more. But I'm just going to bring in the pop astrology side. Water sign, the elements are divided into 4. And there are 3 signs in each 4 elements. So we have the earth. Earth is Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo.
And what does earth mean? Like you said, grounded, right? The grounded sides, but
yes.
stubborn.
Stubborn, yeah. Those things, I like to look at it by emotions.
Okay.
Like, how do you deal with your emotions? So oftentimes, earth signs try not to experience their emotions, or at least they get too practical with their emotions.
Okay.
If that's the right
This
word.
is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's just how it goes, that's how life is. And then when they can't, which is fine, but then you don't talk about the complexities of your emotions and the fluidness of it, which is something that is very hard for earth signs to tap in sometimes. And that's why sometimes they need their water signs, which is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Yeah, and Pisces. To me, they're the most creative signs. Like if you want something to look really aesthetically beautiful and in a more mystical way, a water sign is going to give that kind of energy. Yeah. So if you need a creative, the one that doesn't want to add logic to it, because that's how they usually deal with their emotions. It's just, I gotta feel it. I don't need to make sense out of it. I just gotta feel it, which permissions the earth signs a lot. That's what the water signs are for. And then you have the air signs. Air signs, again, they're the thinkers. So we have Libra, Aquarius, and Geminis. It's not that we don't believe that we can't feel our emotions. We know it's necessary, but we're going to analyze it first before we permission ourselves to experience our emotions, so that we can be the most logical person in the room, which can irritate the water sign sometimes, but creates a good conversation with the earth sign. And then we have the fire signs, which is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And Leo and Sagittarius and Aries, they tend to just
go, let's go, everyone in.
I have feelings, just go. The kind of thing.
Move, let's do it.
Go.
Do it.
And which is always a fun part for the air signs, because then it gets them out of their heads. So for fire signs, it's like, let's party with our feelings. They're just there, let's party with it and all. So that's why I always get scared when I see a fire and water sign combination. Because it's like, whoa, when are you going to sit down with your feelings? Yeah.
It's going to boil.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So, yeah. But you have more.
No. I think you've said it beautifully.
Oh.
Yeah, but I was just concerned about you.
It's okay.
No, because just you said something about, I think you're very, you cannot, you're very air energy. You cannot connect to earth energy, right? So the thing is, you need to give room for all elements to play. If not, you're going to be attracted to the wrong person who can really bring that for you. Or the earth energy will come out eventually, but on places you don't expect to be. Suddenly you feel frozen, or like it will come out in your intimate relationship, like you're like, oh, this, I don't know where to move, this is it, it's so heavy. So it's good to explore all of the, on your own first. I would really say, before you start dating people or anything, just explore all this element on your own first and be full on your own. Then you go ahead. If not, you're going to constantly attract people, like literally the different faces, but the same elements. So we don't want that to happen as well. This is, again, going back to the, like, what are the benefits? When you understand this, it's very easy to interact with people. Yeah.
I can see that.
Put that in a dating app.
I'm doing I'm seeing the whole spectrum of energy now.
Yeah.
I'm doing the work. After hearing you guys talk about there's a whole lore to unpack, and we haven't even touched the other stuff. I think we mentioned things about Indian astrology, Chinese, but not even like human design, chakras. You talked about the corporate stuff, Myers-Briggs. There's Enneagram stuff. So there's like a whole like spider web of things.
Yeah.
But my question is, as much as you are very in tune and you're interested and you use this as a guide system, how often do you guys resist your fate or sort of resist your destinies?
I did it last month. No, I honestly, that is also a part of the process. Like, you need to understand that resistance will exist because, especially now, there's a whole transformation that's happening right now that will go on until next year.
What is the
So
transformation
what is
that's
the
happening right now?
So we have a change of one of the planets, specifically Pluto, which is which is the sign of the transformation, and to a sense, in a way, is a generational or timed like sign in a way. So it has transferred back to Capricorn, is it? Capricorn, and then that's the last time it will land on Capricorn, and then it will go back to Aquarius. So whenever there's a huge shift of change of like signs from from a planet from one sign to another, there's like a huge shift in the air, and everyone will kind of go through those changes.
Okay.
So we were talking about like resistance and all that kind of stuff. It is a part of the work to experience the resistance, because for you to not experience the resistance, then you're not understanding the change. I think the other education that this work has done is that the process is the real work. The practice is the real work, not the purpose. The purpose is just kind of there so that you have something to go to.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, the whole journey thing and all that kind of stuff. But basically it is that, and it's trying to teach you to like truly find joy in that. As simple and as cheesy as it seems. It's just truly just finding joy in the highs and the lows, the resistance, the forwards, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
To add on, because I completely agree, but I like allowing the resistance. I think the moment the resistance is there, that is the perfect clue that you're about to uncover something. That something new is waiting for you. That's what it's like. A child is knocking on your door. So when you open the door and you just ask like, okay, what's up? No matter what the child is, then the child is going to tell you. But if you ignore it, the resistance is going to keep building up. So for me, whenever the resistance there, I get quite excited, because I'm like, okay, there's something new is about to happen. So how do I merge it with my elemental thing? If at that moment, like my body really need to express the fire of rage, I'm going to allow it in the safest way possible. I'm going to allow it. If I feel so stubborn in my earth element, then I'm going to not move a single muscle until I feel like I want to do so. So it gives that element to express itself fully in your body. So now you have opened the door, you have addressed the child. The child already said what it needs to say, the child can leave. So this is how this work has like helped me to see the unseen in a very structural way.
But I'm curious for people who are watching this, or for people who are interested or resonate with the idea of, this is a guiding system and it could really help me. What's a good starting point to begin this sort of journey of connection, if this is something that resonates with people? Where should people start?
I resist telling people where to go a lot. Because the work in itself is to walk towards what you're drawn to. I think start where you're at and whatever you can find, and then if it will lead you from the next one to the next one to the next one until you kind of like sit with something that you're comfortable and you're swimming with and dancing with, that kind of stuff.
Fair enough.
Like I only got into astrology because it was thrown at me the way it has been now. When I was a kid, I kid you not, I had crushes on like pop stars and all that kind of stuff, and it was introduced by my Singapore auntie. My dad's Singaporean, and I would call her. Last time was landline. I would call her just like, auntie, I have a crush on this boy, and then this and that, and then she's like, oh okay, so they're like this and that and all that kind of stuff, and then it left me, and then it kind of came back because there was this other person that I was kind of seeing and all, who was into astrology, which is again stereotypically rare for guys, I guess. So I was intrigued by that, and we started getting into it. But I realized the reason why I always go back to astrology, and still very much on the surface, maybe more to people who treat it with what they want to hear at the surface, but is because I think it's fun. Simply as that. It's because like I get to treat life like it's playful in all that kind of stuff. Because I do believe in the element aspect of it, the natural and the spiritual aspect of it. But I think spirituality is just important in general because it engages in the parts of us that need to engage in questioning what's outside of us. And the reason why we do that, because I personally feel, and I think I'm biased because I'm in the creative field, is that it engages with our creativity. And our creativity needs to be engaged for us to kind of like move forward and like want to like play with life, or at least exist in life and all. I think start with where you're at, with whatever you can get, whatever relationship you have with all these things as well. Question it. Why do you resist it? What is so bad about it? And what is it that you don't feel attached to? Is it coming from a place of bitterness? Let's tap into that too, psychology. And then after that, go into, or if you just don't feel like it's needed in your life, then fine, move on. Something will come to you, whether it's numerology, whether it's human design and all. None of it is not true. None of it is true. You get what I mean?
Just what you make of it, I guess.
To a certain level. And I think it's fine as long as you're consistently trying to create a healthier relationship with it and with life and how you carry yourself in life.
I completely agree. I think the calling will come naturally. For elements work, I think I can suggest like 2 things that people can do on your own. The first thing is like, element is very body, so you really need to come home to your body. So I will suggest like just choose 4 songs, each song representing each element. Like when you listen to that song, if you're feeling fiery, you use that. If there's a song that is like soaring and it's really getting your emotion worked up, choose that. So choose all the songs, and then for each song, just play it and explore where your body goes. You don't have to be a dancer to do it. You just need to move. If you don't feel like moving, just explore, sit and explore with your fingers. There's like, it could be as miniature as that. So in that, I think anyone can do this. This is a very basic thing where you will find out that in that 4 song, that there's this one element really stood out. So you already know where you're working with. What is your dominant energy? The second is actually going out and connecting to these elements. Like really intentionally breathe. And how do you feel when you do so? Is the inhale is easy, so it means that you're really welcoming the air energy. Are you having trouble inhaling or like letting go? Where is that? You will feel that the element will teach you. And this air hasn't been changed for millions of years. So the information that it needed, the air remembers, the water remembers. For water, go out or do something, or even when you
Immerse yourself in water.
immerse in yes, exactly. Immerse yourself in water. Let it be calm water, or even like water that has a little bit of like power to it, like it's beneath a waterfall or something. See where is that okay for you, is that too much for you. For earth energy, dig your nails onto the soil, or like like hug a tree. like these things will teach you how it feels like to be that element. I think that will you will discover so many things about you. It's a very interesting thing.
It is very interesting, I think, but I think it also requires a lot of hard work. It's not just like you read one thing and you read off one website and you think like you know everything. I think it is also, and I think something when it comes to, I think, be it pop astrology or the Indian one, it's an evolving thing. It's never something that's set on stone that it is going to be the way it is forever. You know, sometimes you feel like this is how the air energy will function, but in a few years, or you know, things will transform, things will change. I feel like even Indian astrology is like that. You know, it'll keep transforming. That's why you need to be constantly in touch. You cannot be like, oh, I read it like 5 years ago, I think I'm good. You know, I think that would work for that 5 years ago, but I think moving on today, things have changed, shifted, moved, and whatnot, because this planets that's moving around, that's shifting the energy in between.
You'll mention astrology, and some people are they're just so turned off from it.
Yeah.
And on one hand, you can understand why, but there's also so much more as well. And I think there's a part of everyone that goes like, oh, what if, what about? So I think that's just there.
I mean, if it works for you, it works for you.
Yeah,
Right? You
yeah.
take if you want to take. If you don't want to take, shut the fuck up and go
No,
away.
but I mean, I'll say this again. Like when it comes to big decisions, those people who are naysayers, they will make sure, just in case, like if you're starting a business or you're doing this thing or having a child, be sure they're consulting something.
It's happening. It's
Yes,
happening
yes,
because
yes. And we are Southeast Asians. We cannot run away from that.
Southeast Asian,
I want
it's
it to
there.
stay forever because I feel like that is our resistance as Southeast Asians. You know, in like the climate of how we've become and then like with our history and all that kind of stuff. These parts of us, like our spiritual aspect, and it's been like taken away so much in the Western world and all that kind of stuff. This is our resistance.
beautiful.
And I feel like we should continue it.
As we should.
Put that
and as
budget
we should
aside.
end this episode. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you so
This
much,
has
guys.
been really,
Thank
really
you.
great conversation. We'll keep talking about it right after this because the camera is running out of battery. So we have to.
It's dying.
Yeah, because we've been talking for 1 hour, 40 minutes now.
Yes.
It's a very long
An
conversation.
hour, 40 minutes.
But thank you so much. It's been fun. And thank you so much to every single one of you. You've been watching and listening to this show. You can watch our show, Talking Shit, is a brand new English podcast that'll be out every Thursday, 8 p.m. on our YouTube channel, which is KAYPOH. And we are also on Apple Podcasts and we are also on iTunes. Apple Podcasts. We're also on Spotify. You can listen to us every Thursday, 8 p.m. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this channel so you will be notified every time there's a new.
Especially if you're an Aquarius. Not kidding.
Yes.
Tune in.
We're starting
Please
a
join the
party.
cult.
Aries is you can join
Please
too.
join
You can
the cult.
too.
It's a political party. What are you talking about?
We are hiring. Bye bye, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
KAYPOH!